Hello! Welcome back to Stitchback Stories. Today I'm going to show you how to make moisture-wicking underwear for hiking or general activewear. And for this tutorial, you're not going to need any special materials, just a regular sewing machine and your fabric. So the first important step is to find the best fabric material for the project. To do this, I like to go to REI's website to try to find some of the best products in the category I'm working with. So I'm just going to search women's underwear. Once I find a few that I like to go under technical specs to see what the fabric is made of. And the pattern that I noticed is that they all primarily have some sort of water wicking material like polyester mixed with a little bit of stretch from something like spandex. Now I was most intrigued by this pair of icebreaker underwear that goes for $35. And looks like they're made out of merino wool, nylon, and spandex. So for underwear, and really any undergarment, you want the primary material, so in this case it's the 83% merino wool, to have moisture wicking properties. Some of the best options are merino wool, polyester, and sometimes nylon. Next, you want a really good stretch material added into that. Spandex, lycra, and elastane are all really good options. Basically, you want a material that has really good recovery, meaning that when you stretch it, it quickly returns to its original state without staying stretched out and getting wrinkled. So with this information, you can either go directly to Google and search these materials, and look around and see if anything interests you, or you can go directly to a fabric site that you like. I really like moodfabrics.com, and you can search directly there. You can also look through the category breakdown in the site. A lot of fabric stores have a specific section for activewear. So here they have performance fabrics. I'm gonna go to wicking fabric, and I might browse around here for a little bit. And just as we looked under technical specs for the underwear, you want to do the same thing with the fabric. So this fabric is a performance fabric, and you can see that it is breathable, has wicking capabilities, and it's great for leggings, fitted tanks, and sports bras. And I can see that it's made out of polyester and spandex. Now, while I was browsing through different sites, I came across this bamboo merino wool fabric, and I don't own any hiking gear that contains bamboo, but bamboo is supposed to have great odor and moisture wicking properties, so I was pretty interested in trying this out. And if the website has a lot of additional information about the fabric, that's a really good sign. So I have the bamboo and merino wool, which is going to give me moisture wicking and odor wicking properties, and the spandex that's going to give me that really comfortable stretch. To create the pattern, I traced a pair of underwear that fits me really comfortably, and you could use any style of panty that you want, so your pieces might look slightly different than mine. I did a 3/8 inch seam allowance to all of the seams that will be sewn together. However, I did not add any seam allowance to the top band and the leg holes because I will be adding an elastic band there. Here are all the pattern pieces cut out. There's a back piece, the front, and 2 gusset pieces. Okay, first we're going to start by assembling the gusset. I have the front panel with right side facing up here. Take one of the gusset pieces and pin it right sides together at the curve. This gusset is going to be on the outside of the underwear. Next, flip this whole section over. Take the other gusset piece and lay it right side down. This is going to be the lining layer. Pin all 3 layers of fabric together and then remove the first pin. Sew all the layers together at the curve with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, making sure to align the edges of the fabric. The pieces are curving in opposite directions, so you want to take your time with this. It might be helpful to add a couple more pins. When sewing, I'm using a zigzag stitch with both the length and width set to 1.5 millimeters. A walking foot is helpful, although not necessary, to keep all your layers together. Many sewing machines come with a walking foot, but if you're a student, I highly recommend investing in one. To keep the edges clean, I'm going to trim the fabric after sewing each seam. Now lay this whole section out with the right side of the crotch and the right side of the underwear facing up and the lining hiding underneath. Fold the center piece so that it is out of the way. Grab the back panel and match it right sides together with the outer gusset piece. Fold the top half of the back panel out of the way as well. Take the gusset lining, bring it all the way up and around to meet with the seam at the top, and pin all 3 layers together. Sew with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Take this entire contraption and flip it inside out. you can start to see the basic construction of the garment. Now lay the panty right sides together and sew the two side seams. The front panel might not be as wide as the back panel, so make sure to align the seams edge to edge. To create the elastic band, I'm going to measure the entire opening, which for me is about 24 inches, and subtract half an inch. The width is going to be 4 times my seam allowance, which is 3/8 of an inch. So I need to cut a band that is 23.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Once the band is cut, fold it right sides together and sew. Take the band, open up the seam, and fold it wrong sides together. With the band folded, place 4 pins equal distance apart. Place another 4 pins equal distance apart on the panty. Take the band and pin it around the outside of the underwear, making sure to match the 4 points. You can remove the extra pins. Sew all the way around with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Stretch the band as you go so that the fabric doesn't get bunched up. If you'd like, you can sew a zigzag top stitch along this edge to keep the seam flat, but I'm going to leave mine as is. Use the same process to create elastic bands for the leg holes. Normally I would finish these raw edges with the serger, but I want to show how you can make your own underwear with just a simple sewing machine and one type of fabric. There are a ton of tutorials on how to sew different types of elastic bands, but this one will function just fine. I wore this underwear on a 9-mile hike on a very sunny and warm day, but the mountain had just seen a snowstorm a week before, so there was wet snow, but I was also sweating because it was hot, and this material was really great at keeping my butt nice and dry. I don't own any expensive undergarment, so I'm really excited to add this to my gear collection, and I'll definitely be using this fabric for other applications like leggings and base layers. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!